The problem with glasses is that if you're working all day long, you take them off, you wipe your faces, it's getting greasy, you put it back on, and then they start slipping down your nose. I would tighten them up, they'd still slip. I'd waken up in the morning, I couldn't see the alarm clock. I'd have to find my specs first before I could see what time it was to see if it was getting up time. I just found them a faff. And it came to a head last summer. I was on holiday in Portugal, and I was driving, and I drove into an underground car park, and I had my prescription sunglasses on, and suddenly I had to try and get prescription sunglasses off and my regular glasses on while steering through narrow kind of causeway type things inside an underground car park. And it was horrible. I thought, I've got to do something. It was making me miserable. When a patient comes in here for the first time, the thing that you guys, I guess, have to be constantly aware of and reminded of on a daily basis is that this is new to them. You work here. So for the people who work here, every day is just another day where you're making a difference to people's lives, but you know the benefits, they don't. And what I liked when I came here was that no question was deemed too stupid. If I'd walked in here and said, if I get my eyes fixed, does it mean that I can no longer use the gym machine because of sweat running in my eyes or something? Which may be the most ridiculous question you've ever heard. But none of my questions were treated as if they were ridiculous. So I did feel I could ask everything I wanted. Also, what I found quite encouraging was on my first visit here, I walked into the waiting room, and there was some guy just about to go through and get his procedure, and he had glasses that were like milk bottle upon milk bottle upon milk bottle. This guy, you would see his specs coming around the corner before his nose appeared. And I'd gone in, I'd got some checkup before I saw David, and about a quarter of an hour later or something, I'm still sitting in there waiting for the next bit and he walks through, and he's like, fine, and he's got his sunglasses to wear outside, and he goes and he gets himself a can of Coke out of it. No specs. And I'm thinking, oh, I want a bit of this. The other thing that's nice is that in the waiting room there's a plasma screen which does give you the story, and it does tell you in words that even I can understand about the different bits of the eye and why you have problems and where the focus is and how they're going to change it and stuff. So I did feel that I was made as aware as I could be of everything, so my fears were allayed. The day before the surgery, I was caught between two stools. On one side, I thought, this is a big thing, because at the end of the day, this is surgery that I'm electing to have. I don't have to have it. I'm choosing to have this done. And as with all surgery, it's a big thing in your life. But the other side of me was going, but this is going to change your life. This is a really exciting time. So I was really excited for two different reasons. One is the kind of, oh, it's surgery. The other was that, oh, it's going to change my life. So the day before, what I did was I just took my mind off things, and I just occupied myself all day doing things, because I didn't want to get too excited this is going to change my life, because I didn't know if it was. I didn't know if I'd kind of go, oh yeah, great, I've got good eyesight, and just carry on. Or whether I would go, oh, fantastic. But on the other side, I didn't want to play up the fact that, oh my goodness, I'm having surgery. So I just occupied myself as much as possible the day before. And on the day itself, I couldn't wait to get in here and get started. Day of the surgery, when I came in here, I must confess, quite anticipatory. I wasn't nervous, but I was anticipating a bit, kind of, the adrenaline pumping, that sort of stuff. And I'm pleased that I was, because at the end of the day, it is surgery. You are going into a surgical theatre. You are going to have to wear one of these silly hats and put paper booties over your shoes, and you are going into a place where professionals are standing, and there's equipment there, etc. So I'm glad I realised it's not like you're going to go and sit in somebody's house and they're going to give you some cake and tea. It is surgery, and nobody should do this without asking all the questions and realising at the end of the day it's surgery. But when I went in there, David explained every step of the process to me. Right, what we're doing now is this, and you may feel a bit of that. We're now putting antiseptic drops in. We're now putting anaesthetic drops in. We're now putting so-and-so in to clear this. And then afterwards, I was taken to a room to kind of lie in the dark for 20 minutes. And I wasn't quite prepared for the fact that I could see, but it was through a haze. It was kind of milky. And I hadn't really been expecting that. And they said, that will happen and it will start to clear. And I lay there, and then I was able to walk up the stairs thinking, oh my goodness, I can see that. I walked outside, and I remember seeing a car registration plate way up the street, and I thought, oh, there's something different going on here. There's no way I could see it, even through the milky haze. And I went for a hot chocolate round the corner from the clinic. And totally coincidentally, I'd never been in this place before, it has the best hot chocolate I've ever had in my life. It was like melted chocolate from Switzerland. And I just sat there and I thought, I don't care about the calories, I deserve this. And I sat there, and from starting the hot chocolate to finishing it, the haze had really started to go away. My wife was with me to give me a lift home. By the time we got home, almost all the haze had gone. And I went home and I thought, I don't have to prove anything, I'm going to go and have a lie down. I put my drops in, had a lie down, and 20 minutes later, the haze had gone completely. That night, put my drops in, woke up the next morning, and actually couldn't move in my bed for surprise at the fact that I turned my head to one side looking for my specs. My specs weren't there. I could see the time. It was just gobsmacking the day afterwards. And I realised instantly, and I mean instantly, that things had changed. It really has changed things in my life. I love going to the gym. Now, when I used to go to the gym before surgery, I used to have to wear contact lenses. I'd go down, I'd do my workout, and that's all fine. But then I'd have to try and get somewhere quickly to get my contact lenses out, because I was wearing my contact lenses so much latterly that, because I hated my specs, that what was happening was it was starving the eyes of oxygen. So I was starting to get bloodshot eyes and veins appearing and things like that. And I was warned that I was overusing the contact lenses, so I didn't want to. But on the other hand, I couldn't find my way around the gym or the classes if I didn't have my contact lenses in. And you certainly can't, well, I can't do a really tough workout with specs on, because if I'm running on a machine or doing a spinning class and up and down in the saddle, your specs are flying all over the place. To be able to go and not worry about contact lenses was just incredible. To be able to finish my workout and go and sit in the sauna, which I never had to do before, I never could do before, because I always had to rush home and take my contact lenses out, and then have a nice leisurely shower, and then go and have a hot chocolate or a coffee or something, read a bit of the paper, and then, this is on a day off obviously, then maybe go home. Right? It changed the structure of my day. If I was driving at night, going anywhere, and I do drive quite a lot, I would find that my night vision wasn't great with specs. Even though my prescription was fine in my specs, I would drive really quite carefully. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I now drive carefully, but I'm not as worried while I'm driving because I can see much clearer. I can see further. I can have the confidence, more confident driving than I was before. If I'm doing TV work, I don't have to worry about can I see the autocue thing and the words across there. If I'm in a studio doing radio, I don't have to worry, can I see the clock for when the news starts or anything like that, because I can see it. And a producer I was working with in radio, she's had hers done now too, same place, because she's so convinced of the benefits. So it's affected my work, but it's affected my leisure time as well. If I'm out in the garden, digging the garden, and I do like to get out for an hour or two every weekend, just to clear my head, thinking time, nobody's interrupting you, put headphones on, I'm listening to my iPod and I'm digging the garden, I'm lost in my own world. Beforehand, you bend over, you're digging, the specks would fall off, you'd pick them up. If it's a warm sunny day and you're weeding, the sweat starts to trickle down, it falls on your specs, you're going to take them off, clean them. You know, that's all gone. So leisure time, business time, driving to business time, it's changed everything. Yeah, it has changed everything.